Thank you for listening to this episode of Christian Car Guy Theater. We are so honored that you would spend time with us. My name is Ann Alt, and I'm one of the actors on the Christian Car Guy Theater team, and you can find out all about us on this Christian Car Guy website, ChristianCarGuy.com. We get to play all sorts of fun characters, humans and car parts. And as Miss Annie would say, many people use this pre-roll time to ask for money, but we want to ask you for something we feel is much more valuable. We ask for your prayers. And as Tammy Tensioner would say, we need stories where Jesus is clearly the hero of the story. You see what I mean? Hey, Bert Rosenberg, what would Mosey Motor Oil say?
Well, thanks for asking, Ann. My friend Mosey Motor Oil, and he is my friend. He's the first friend I've ever had that is actually motor oil. And Mosey Motor Oil would say, "Yo, friends, hey, look here, listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. Prayer keeps things from getting stuck. Yeah, kind of like oil. That's what oil does, ain't that right? Yeah. So you know what I'm saying is right. And everybody needs fresh oil. So please remember us in your prayer." Well, thank you, Mosey. Say, Ellen Kennedy, what would Gracie Gas Tank say?
Gracie Gas Tank would say,
"You have started to fill our tank by just listening today. We are so excited to share our stories with you, so please pray that God would get us the sponsors and radio stations to share it with many more who may never have come to know Jesus."
Now sit back and enjoy this episode of Christian Car Guy Theater.
And now time for Christian Car Guy Theater with today's episode, Jailhouse Justice, Part 8. Previously on Jailhouse Justice, Episode 7, we see the evil Noir and his sidekick Lou now calling themselves Eldon and Otto at a church potluck. To continue in their words, that's to butter up their biscuits at the potluck and butter up the townsfolks while they're at it. The Noir is planning to open up a fine-fit auto parts plant right next to Nahum's garage. Their nefarious plan is to get the townfolk to invest in this project and then not only take off with the investment money, but take off with Allie as well. They're not giving up on kidnapping the prettiest girl in town. Ironically, Allie is living with her grandparents, Bonnie and Bob, because her parents were killed in a car crash 12 years ago. A car crash that was caused by the Noir, though nobody in town is aware of that. Meanwhile, at the potluck, oblivious to all this, Nettie, Nahum's wife, is cheerfully introducing Eldon and Otto around as the townfolks all celebrate the return of the sheriff.
Eldon and Otto, I want you to meet our newly returned sheriff and his most esteemed deputy, Eustace.
Oh, well, it's an honor to meet the two of you. It seems you've both been very busy lately, rescuing folks and such, even a doxy, from what I understand.
Well, actually, that was Eustace who did that, Eldon. I've been out of town for a few weeks, and Eustace has been mighty busy since I've been gone. He is quite the hero.
Well, how in the world did you know that I rescued a doxy, Eldon?
Well, Eustace, you know how it is in a small town. There are no secrets.
Yeah, that's right. You can't keep secrets in this small town. Nope. No. You can't do it. Nope.
I don't know why, but for some reason you two look familiar to me, Eldon. But maybe it's because I've seen your pictures on the posters you have around town for an investor meeting for your new auto plant, which sounds like a terrific idea. It's going to bring jobs to our little town.
Oh, yes, Sheriff. This town will never be the same. And the perfect location next to Nahum's garage. Auto parts and a man who knows how to use them. You know how important location is. Location. Such a deal. It's a win-win, right, Otto?
Such a deal. Yeah, that's right. Perfect. Definitely. A win, 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 win.
And I can't tell you how thrilled I am that you arrived in town to boost the economy when I am mayor. Perfect indeed. Perfect timing.
That's right, Mayor Elvira Merriweather. And now, Eldon and Otto, here's some other fine folks I want you to meet. This is Bob and Bonnie and their granddaughter, Allie.
Nice to meet you, Bob, Bonnie, and Allie. Pretty name for a pretty girl.
Oh, thank you. Actually, it was my Doxy that Eustace rescued. It was the most amazing story. Really kind of crazy.
We're so proud of our granddaughter, Eldon. She was actually the princess for the Garden of Hope float earlier this year. And she found a lot of hope from the Lord after that. We went through a bit of a rough time, didn't we, Bob?
A rough time indeed. It's funny, Eldon. The sheriff said you look familiar. You look familiar to me, too. But maybe it's those posters around town. Have we met before?
You know, maybe we did. Many years ago.
And here is our very own Pastor Jack.
Yes, hi Eldon and Otto. Welcome to our little town. We're so grateful to you for what you're planning to do.
Believe me, the pleasure is all mine.
Sure hope to see you in church on Sunday.
Wouldn't miss it, Pastor.
All right, everybody. Hey, listen up now. Yeah, y'all come on over here and let's hear the sheriff give a few words before Pastor Jack prays over our food. Hey, and don't nobody touch that red velvet cake before I get there. All right, now, come on, let's give the sheriff a big hand. Welcome back, Sheriff.
Well, I can't tell you how good it is to be back and how very much I've missed you all. And I want you to know that although there have been some frightening things that have gone on in our little town, Eustace and I will do everything in our power and with God's help to keep this town safe. Thank you, and God bless you.
So, Noir and Lou, alias Eldon and Otto, seem to have pulled the wool over everyone's eyes, although there were a few question marks in the minds of the sheriff and Bob, Allie's grandfather. As the potluck was over and cleaning up was going on, Nettie took out the trash in the alley next to the parking lot. Nettie overheard Lou and Noir chuckling as they stood next to Jimmy's Jeep. They were enjoying how they had deceived everyone. They saw Nettie rush back into the church hall and start talking to Nahum, Pastor Jack, the sheriff, Eustace, and Bob about what she'd heard.
I knew that guy looked familiar.
You're right, Bob. Pastor Jack, could we look up the face recognition on the computer in your office? Let's see who these guys are.
Dagnabbit! Just when you think all's well. Come on, guys, let's use that computer thingy to look them up. Meanwhile, the Noir and Lou heard the whole thing as they followed Nettie and hid behind the door. Noir pulled Lou back into the parking lot.
Okay, let's get out of here. Hey, this Jeep Wrangler right here. Would be perfect to go off-road. Come on.
Jimmy decides to peek outside to take a look at Eldon and Otto, and just then they take off in his Jeep.
Hey, they're getting away in my Jeep.
Hey, where are we going? What are we doing here?
Mr. Pasando, what is going on around here? No. Hey, I'm going to pray. Oh, Lord, protect us, Lord, please. Whoa, what's going on?
Hey, what do these bums think they're doing?
Ay, por favor, señor, protegeros. Please, Lord, protect them.
Seriously?
Tammy, give them a little more attention, and I'll give them a wave of justice.
Oh, no, cut it out. Oh, dear.
Air condition their heads.
Oh, don't cry, everyone. Let me wipe your tears away.
I'm guessing Eldon and Lou may have taken the wrong vehicle. That is, if they hope to get away. Tune in for the next episode where we'll find out if the Noir and Lou will either see the light or they may have to meet the dark. And now here's Randy Radiator and Danny Dipstick to wrap up today's episode.
Randy, do you think that trusting the Noir is kind of like trusting stairs?
Oh, Daddy, I get it. Like stairs. The Noir is always up to something. You can't get a rise out of me, mister. Well, you're right, Danny. And even when evil is lurking behind every corner, the enemy doesn't stand a chance. Jesus is more than a match for any enemy, and like Jimmy's Jeep, I can hardly wait to see the beatdown those two will take at the hands of Tammy Tensioner, Guido Gasket, Mosey Motor Oil, and even Wally Windshield Wiper has got what it takes with Jesus on his side.
Yeah, Randy. Fine fit might be those guys. Parting words.
Oh, brother. Say goodbye, Daddy.
See you later, Radiator.